Hello and welcome to the Stringers Podcast number 4. I don't have a quippy movie reference for the 4th one, but it's one more than 3, and next week will be 5, and I'm happy with 4. This week we are excited to welcome my good friend Emily Agard onto the show. She works with MLSE Live. You can find her on Twitter at Emily Agard and on Instagram at Emily Agard. She, among other things, is a massive, massive Foo Fighters fan. And so if you know anything about me, you know that is exactly why I wanted her in, especially given the fact that they just released their most recent album. But first, Kylee.
Yay.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
This is a different setup for us because right now, instead of having mic stands and being at a boardroom table, I just have like the mic I'm holding it. And so
it's a little strange.
We're like 2 MCs with no DJ.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got going on this weekend?
This weekend, on Friday, Oktoberfest.
Oh, everyone loves Oktoberfest.
Yes. But this year it's a little different on Saturday. So it's happening on Friday as well. But on Saturday, they have a all-ages kind of event, so families can go. It's on Saturday during the day. So nighttime, just, get a babysitter or drop them off on the street.
Can I tell you the craziest story? So when I was like 19 years old, just outside of high school, I went back to my hometown because I was already living in downtown Toronto, and I went to Oktoberfest. And I sat at a table and went picture for picture with my old phys ed teacher.
Yes.
It was unbelievable. It was probably the greatest night of my life.
And then, on Saturday, Nuit Blanche is back for the 12th year.
Ooh, I love Nuit Blanche.
Yeah, I haven't gone in a couple years, but...
Always an exciting thing to do in Toronto. It's free.
It is free.
Which is one of my favorite things about the whole shindig, and it also usually falls around my brother's birthday. Yeah, so year in, year out, we used to do that together.
And if you're a night owl, it's the best thing, too.
Yeah, I don't sleep.
And then Sunday, this was a little interesting for me. It's an influencer workshop. It's $15, which kind of sucks, but I would love to get sent stuff for free, just because I put a post out online.
Right. To see how it happens, what companies are really interested in, and who they're targeting in order to be their influencers. Yeah. I have a couple of really good friends who, that it's not the backbone of their career, but it definitely helps out. And they are now able to be picky and align themselves with the brands that really speak to them. That's a great weekend. Can I add a couple things?
Sure, go ahead.
Maybe just one thing. It is just for laughs right now in the city of Toronto. JFL 42. So if you don't have tickets yet, please pick them up. There's incredible acts night after night after night all through the city right through till September 30th. Jay Farrow, who I'm a huge fan of. I'm excited to see him come to Toronto. Mike Birbiglia, who I spoke about a couple weeks ago on the podcast. I got tickets to go see him. And a whole whack of local talent. So JFL 42, support your local comedians. Because, you might just see them on a wicked movie one day and be like, hey, I helped them get there. But with that, it is time to go to the podcast. The 4th. The one with Emily Agard. It's really exciting. And we design our own festival tour.
It's the best part.
It's the best part. You won't understand until you get it. The Stringer Podcast number 4 coming your way with Emily Agard. But first, Kylee.
Yes.
What's your favorite band instrument?
Guitar.
It's not a band instrument. What's your favorite
what about the drums?
band instrument?
Drums.
That's percussion. What's your favorite band instrument?
How about the sax?
Yeah, the sax. You and Greg, actually. Greg is buddies with Birch.
Yeah.
Are you part of the Champagne Boys?
I am, yeah.
Oh my god, I totally saw you.
I'm an original member.
No, you're not. I definitely feel like you guys had a fucking crazy weekend.
We did have a busy weekend, yeah.
Yeah, I was like messaging him. His Insta stories killed me. There was like a pool. You guys were like at a pool or something.
Oh
like
yeah, they all went to Miami last week.
Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah. Crazy. Actually, I don't want to take credit, but I pretty much started the Champagne Boys. So.
Did you really?
Yeah. If it wasn't for me, no one all hangs out. I'm the link.
You're the OG.
I'm the OG, yeah.
Okay, you gotta. What's the origin story?
It's
I gotta
way
hear
too
this now.
complicated.
No, it's
a
not.
bunch of people don't know. It just basically, I started hanging out with these two guys, and then all of us together all started. I was basically the connection to everyone, so I knew. You guys don't know these people, so it's not interesting, but
it is interesting.
Everyone. Yeah.
I'm a creep, so maybe
And it's definitely interesting to me. I know who Shane is, and I know Mike's your brother,
So
and
Shane
I
and
know Birch.
Yeah, so Shane and I went to high school together, so we're good friends. And so Shane's like one of my best friends, been one of my best friends for years. And then I would be I becoming friends with these other guys in Hamilton. We all played music together, and then
you found Max.
And then Max, so my other best friend Dan was dating a girl at McMaster who was friends with Max, and then through me being friends with Dan, I brought Max into our group, and then Max, I don't know, just everyone gets connected. It's all through me, but I feel like every one of them would tell you the same.
You're like the link.
I am the link. Yeah. It's official.
You are the one. There can be
I am
only
the
one.
one.
You're the chosen one.
I am the one. Yeah,
Well,
I can't explain it well, but I'll just have to map it out at some point.
I will say I'm very impressed with the Champagne Boys.
Hey,
I'm a
me
big fan.
too.
You guys should start your own merch line.
I
will sell it.
It's virtual is all about the merch line. There's designs. It's being talked about. You heard it here first.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, thank you. It's kind of a soft start, so we just we get going with whatever we talk about.
I like it.
Champagne Boys. Yeah, so when you went down, you were down south of the border, just south of the border to see Arkells.
Yes.
And I reported back to Greg right away. I'm like, Emily, who I hope is going to be on the podcast in a couple weeks, just spent the weekend going to see the Arkells. Thought you should know.
That's right.
Love the Arkells.
I live with Max. He's my roommate.
What?
Yeah.
That's
crazy,
so funny.
right?
As I was just merch. I stole this shirt from the living room.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I want to go see them again. Hopefully in November.
Yeah.
We will see.
We will see.
We will see.
In November, yeah. Whereabouts?
They just announced a bunch of Canadian dates today.
Yeah, they're all. They're
I think
in
it was
Ontario.
in
It's
London. Yeah, and I was
that's right. Yeah,
that's a show I need to see again.
that's the one you got to go to.
I definitely go to
It's at
London,
the arena.
Ontario. Is it at the? Is it the beer garden?
Budweiser Gardens.
Budweiser Gardens.
Gardens. Do you remember a long time ago when the Arkells opened up for them Crooked Vultures?
Yes, 100%.
Like,
What
ACC, right?
a long way they've come.
Yeah.
That made me so proud.
Is it crazy? Well, they're
That shot
actually
into my head.
on that tour. They're bringing Matt Mays,
Okay.
and Matt Mays brought them out on tour, on their second tour, back when Jackson Square's go. Yeah.
Damn.
They toured with El Torpedo
Okay.
7 years
And
ago.
then now they're bringing
Now
Matt
they're bringing
Mays
him
out.
out.
Oh, that's adorable.
It is adorable.
That's
I
pretty
love
dope.
that.
That's it.
Our connection, actually, the first time we ever worked together,
Yes.
full circle,
Yes.
Arkells. I went up.
Like you and I?
You and I.
What?
I was. Yeah, because we had worked around each other. I'm glad I can stump the guest. This makes me so happy. We had worked around each other a lot, but never together. And mutual friend Mark Valena, who produced some of your stuff, you were doing an Arkells interview, and you needed an audio guy.
I remember this now.
And then
Yes.
I was actually a terrible audio guy.
No, you were great.
I had never, I kept banging the boom off the ceiling. And that's exactly not what you're supposed to do at all. I'm like, you have to really hold this forever. And Emily, you're a great talker. You are just such a conversationalist. But my arms were tired.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't remember how long that interview was. Can I tell you something funny?
Yes.
Now that I remember that, I was intimidated by you when I first met you.
Oh, was I a dick?
No, you weren't. I was.
That's my first fear. Everyone's like, you thought I was an intern. Julie said that a couple weeks ago. You thought I was an intern. You treated me like shit. And I was like,
No, that was a good interview though. That was fun. I think that was my very first interview that I've ever done for MLSE.
Really?
really?
Yes.
We'll see.
Will it make it on your reel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Will it make it on your reel?
It will make it on my reel.
First one. Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
This is actually so neat because this is why it's so neat. We've always had a really good rapport, but I don't actually know anything about you at all.
Okay.
And
what do you want to know?
I can legit find it. Where did you grow up? Tell me about what was little Emily like?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I am actually quite shy.
I don't believe it. I'm not buying it.
I am shy. Okay.
I'm not buying it.
No.
I'm going to tell you, or else I'm going to put my fist in your mouth.
Yes, exactly. I know. I grew up in Brampton. I'm still
B-Town.
there. B-Town represent.
B-Town, yeah, right.
I'm still there. I don't know if I'm ever going to leave. I will leave.
Yeah.
I will leave. I need to leave.
You
desperately.
commute in every day?
I commute in every day.
Oh, what a trooper!
I mean, I've been doing it. I did it all throughout university. Still doing it now. It's not that bad. People.
Nah, it's a while. Do you drive in or do you
Both.
transit in?
Both.
Both, depending on the night.
Depending on the night, if there's
Yeah.
a show happening, then I'll drive in, or if there's during the work week, I'll just take the train in though.
Take the train in.
That's not bad.
I'm impressed. You're at the office more than I am. And I'll always come in and you're huddled there over your laptop, working away on probably 17 different projects. And I only have to walk 15 minutes to get there, and you come in from B-Town.
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
So was it little reporter Emily running around? What were you like? Were you always talking to people? You said you were shy, so you weren't engaging in the public.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I thought I was going to be a soccer star because I used to be very athletic. Used to be very athletic. Did all the sports like soccer, volleyball, basketball, everything you can think of, baseball. And then I got to high school, and then I started doing kind of like communications and doing stuff like that. And I got really interested in that and went to school for it. Went to RTA. Yeah, good old RTA.
I love what year. Are you comfortable saying what year you graduated?
2013. Was it? Wait, hold on. Was it 2013? 2013. It was 2013.
So I'm trying. No. Okay. So I knew a group that was a couple years before you, but you would have been there. So I went in and helped. Okay. I say
was it like,
helped.
did you do like a practicum thing? Like a final year thing?
I say I helped very loosely. I went out and I had friends that were in RTA.
So you got drunk.
And, I just kind of like, I don't know, they may have asked my opinion. I don't even know if I did anything on it. I remember I saw their practicum piece before it went out, but I would like go hang out at the school. Like that creepy guy that would hang out at a high school and try to sell 14-year-old cigarettes.
You did that in university?
I was basically that guy for the university. I was too old to be there. I remember recording like this really funny Benny Hill video in the I don't know, student center or something. But that was still, I think, a couple years before you. But you would have been there.
Yes.
And
we probably crossed paths then.
I probably saw you along the way and said I'd talk to her if she wasn't so shy.
Well, that's why she was. That's why she was so
shy.
That's why she was so intimidated in the interview, because she's like, "That's the guy who was selling smokes to all the kids."
Exactly. I was like, "Oh shoot!
Oh shit! It's that badass." From campus.
He might try to push something on me. How did he track me down? I gotta get away. Did you ever explore the acting road?
I did. I don't know if I like it.
No?
And I still don't know if I want to continue with it.
Yep.
Like, I have an agent for stuff like that, but I'm just kind of, I really want to focus on hosting.
I find that people in the entertainment industry are kind of lumped into three categories. Either I want to play myself.
Yes.
Or an exaggerated version of myself. I want to play someone else and completely erase who I am from the public eye. Or I don't want to play anyone. Let me just hold the camera and let everyone else do all that kind of junk, because I just want to be behind the scenes.
Totally. I shouldn't say that I don't want to be an actor, though, because I feel like you have to be a jack of all trades in this industry. Like, you got to do everything.
Or be willing to do everything.
Do everything. That's a good way to put it. But yeah, no, I think like I want to stick with hosting and on camera and that kind of. I want to play myself is what I want to do.
You play an exaggerated version of Emily,
myself,
who is boisterous,
yes,
and alive,
but shy.
She leaves a little bit to mystery.
Exactly.
You don't quite know who she is.
Exactly.
What? How did you get in? So you're with MLSE Live right now?
Yes.
Is that right?
That is.
You were with Live. I get this confused all the time.
Yes.
So there
as
is
many
Live,
people do. I know where you're going with this.
There is Live Nation.
Yes.
And there's MLSE Live.
Yes.
And they aren't the same.
They aren't the same.
But you were doing both.
I was doing both at one point. So
That's
Live Nation fans is like you're a good buddy, Adam Burchell. Yeah, so we used to work on it together. He's the one who actually hired me.
He hired you?
He is the reason why we are here and doing this podcast.
What an excellent hire.
So we worked together on Live Nation fans in 2014, 2015. It was kind of like a personality-driven tool that we used to, like, partners would like jump on, and we would do stuff on Twitter and just cover concerts and that kind of thing. But it was also like my personality, whereas MLSE Live was like Emily at work, but we're trying to get away from that now and make it more like a
Emily at Fun.
Yeah,
is at Fun a thing?
I mean,
maybe.
Could be. Yeah.
Emily at Fun.
Emily at Fun. That should be the name of my new show.
.com. It's now an email address. It should be
.com.
It should be the name of the new show.
Yes.
And music was that. I feel like I'm telling your story for you.
Tell me.
Terrible.
I like this. I love this.
No, I don't like this at all. I'm getting away from what I like to do. So Live Nation and MLSE Live being kind of our music division, or MLSE is not my music division, MLSE's music division. My, you work for my music division. Thank you very much, Emily. You may kiss the ring. Was music always the avenue you wanted to chase?
Yes, always.
Always?
Always.
Were you in a band? Please say yes.
I mean, I wasn't, but I'm a drummer.
Hello.
I feel like you knew that. Did you know that?
I didn't know you were a drummer.
Yeah.
We've had many conversations about drumming.
Yeah, I still drum.
What kind of drums you
Not
got?
often, but I do. It's just
Pearl
it's
export
a
or what?
standard like 5-piece.
Oh, nice.
5-piece, 8-piece Pearl set.
Maybe an 8-piece.
Maybe an 8-piece.
A couple rototoms.
I suck at double kick. There's a fun fact.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of work.
I definitely have broken sticks and it's been poked in my eyes. There's that.
And
But,
when did that start? When did the drumming start?
Oh, that was because of my brother. So my brother he used to play everything.
Mm-hmm.
We used to just jam together in the basement.
No way.
when
Your parents let it?
They enjoyed it. Yeah.
I was very fortunate as well because I had parents that I was 12 when I got my first drum kit.
Nice.
And I think it takes a certain type of parent to allow their children
Yes.
to bring these loud crash. Like we weren't good at it when we started. Like you can't be good at drums when you start.
Of course.
You bang around on them. But I can just imagine now at my age, coming home after a long day of work and having your little shit of a son
I would kill him.
smash away at the drums for like 4 freaking hours.
I would strangle him. There's no way. I'm so tired when I get home from work and from,
And I had 2 parents let them do. Like both of them were cool with it, which is unbelievable. But what an experience it ends up being for a kid and able to explore music in a new way and a talent in a new way
Yeah.
and then eventually make friends out of it.
Totally. So my parents were the kind of people, especially my mom. My mom was the type of person to be like, okay, well, I would start playing things and she'd be like, what were you playing? And then it's like, all of a sudden my mom's the biggest Nirvana fan. And she's like, can I borrow this album? Can I have and I'll like go in her compartment, like in the car. You'll find like a Nelly CD. You'll find like Nirvana. You'll see Maroon 5. It's like, what are you listening to?
The most eclectic tastes
Yes.
of any mother on earth.
Yes.
My mom was okay with a Korn song, I remember. And then she's like, oh, who is this band? And I'm like, yeah, you're not going to like them. Like, I just had them on a mixtape because we go camping in the summer, and on the mixtape I had Korn. And she was like, yeah, I think I'm okay with this. I'm like, no, you shouldn't be. Trust me on this. Like, I know the beat sounds great, but the lyrics, they're horrible, Mom. You don't even want to get into it.
I mean, Korn's great.
Korn is great.
Freak on a Leash. Great song.
That doesn't get old.
It doesn't.
Can we think of a second song by Korn?
No,
like
that's
collectively.
But like, actually, that's the thing.
That's what happens to me all the time. And I wanted to throw in, I'm like, and then also, but that's what the internet is for. And anyone who's listening, feel free to let us know a second Korn song that we should have most definitely known was there.
Yeah.
So your brother played everything.
Yeah,
you started playing stuff.
Yeah, he mostly played the guitar, and then I would just jump on drums, and then we would try to out-drum each other. He's like, I'm the better drummer. I was like, nah, I'm the drummer of this family.
Don't start with me. I've got the lanky arms, bro.
I am the Taylor Hawkins, and you can be the Dave Grohl. Thank you
Whoa.
so much.
So you're saying Taylor's better than Dave?
I mean,
Well, here we go.
Here we go.
This was about to get really exciting, and then now my heart hurts.
No, I don't want to say, and one is better than the other, but I've always had a thing for Taylor Hawkins.
Well, he's pretty hunky.
The blonde hair. He smiles
never
all the
has a
time. when
shirt
he
on.
drums.
He smiles all the time. He has great hair. He has a Twitter account that's dedicated to his hair.
Really?
Really?
Called, like Hawkins Hair, at Hawkins Hair.
That's a funny guy.
He operate? Does he have a person that operates it, or is it just a straight
hair.
hair?
Oh, I really hope it's him that does it.
I know. It would make me feel so much
Is it
better.
verified?
too.
Yeah.
Massive bonding moment for you and I is when we realized we are kind of 1 and 2 on the Foo Fighters' largest Canadian fan list.
Yes.
Maybe in the world, but I just don't want to go up against the States right now. 1 and 2.
Yes.
And the point, this is a very exciting week, and I'd kind of hoped that we could almost save this one more week, but my schedule goes to shit, and I'm not able to. And you were good enough to give me today, and that's amazing, but they have an album coming out.
Yes. How do you feel about that?
You're the guest. How do you feel? And you're the music expert.
I am pretty pumped. So I will admit, when I first heard their single "Run," have you guys heard it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So it's on the radio. It's everywhere. I was like, "What is this? This is interesting." And then I was like, "You know what?" I gave it a second listen. I was like, "This sounds like old Foo."
does.
I like the screamo part. It reminds me of like their first album or their second album.
Yep. First 2.
I really, really like it. I really like it. I also like the music video. Have you seen the music video for it?
I saw the music video. Dave Grohl directed that video.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's
Man,
cool.
he's just taking over the world one art at a time.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's trying.
Who's the new dude in the band? is my question. What's
Pat Smear?
No, Pat Smear's been there forever, but
know,
there's another guy that they were like, oh, he's the new member.
Pianist. Is he a pianist? Keyboard? Electrical keyboard?
I'm going to have to look this up.
Kylee. Welcoming Kylee to the podcast. Our technical producer. Also queen of everything Google. Members of the Foo Fighters band. And the nice thing about editing is that we can go from not having this to having this in an instant.
Not in an instant.
Well, because they re-added Pat Smear like 2 albums ago, right?
They did.
Because he left, they brought in Chris Shiflett, and then now they're just like, we're bringing Pat back. And then in that documentary, Chris was kind of
Rami
he was-
Jaff?
No, he's been there forever too. I'm telling you guys, there's a new guy in the band. I read an article about it and I was like, who is this?
well, how big is this band now? They're like 8 members
Yeah.
deep.
Well, it would be
Just trying to
Pat
be the
was
Arcade
5.
and
And
then
then
Raffi is 6.
And so it would be
Rami,
seven
Raffi.
members.
7 members.
7 members now.
They're kind of turning into Slipknot with like 19
know.
people on stage.
Who's also very nice, by the way.
Are they?
Slipknot. They are like, you would think that like you are about to die as they approach you. You're like, oh my God, this is it. We're done.
Okay, here are the members, though, that they have. So obviously Dave Grohl.
Cut right in.
Nate Mendel.
Yep.
Pat Smear.
Yep.
Taylor Hawkins.
Love 'em.
Chris Shiflett.
Yep.
And Rami Jaffe.
That is a lie. There are more members.
Wikipedia. We've got to approach Wikipedia after you and me. We'll start a petition.
I'm in.
We'll get them to change it.
You do it yourself.
I was going to say it's
open source.
crowdsourced,
Yeah.
right?
You know, I'm just
Open
gonna go.
source.
I'm gonna go there and edit it myself right after
Do it.
this.
Yeah, just put up
Add
but
my
it's
name.
blank. Yeah. I know there's someone.
Agard.
See, I
and
stopped
sometimes
getting
Greg Veerman.
sometimes I stopped getting excited about Foo Fighter albums like 5 of them ago. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, we've
What
had
is it
this
about the new
discussion
Foo Fighter
before.
stuff that I just found Dave Grohl just kind of lost it. It turned into generic like classic rock.
I get why
And it
you.
was- yeah.
I get why you say that because a lot of my fellow Foo Fighters friends are like that too.
That's
Sounds
3
almost
Fs. Fellow Foo Fighters friends.
Like it just sounds like it was like it's just a song I would have heard at 2 p.m. on Q107. You know.
I just feel like I have such a connection to the Foo Fighters that I can't help it. It's like everything they release is like gold to me. Like, oh my God, there's a new Foo Fighters song.
I get it.
Dave Grohl.
I get it. I think I always just like more like pop Foo Fighters, like pop rock, like Come in Shape, Nothing Left to Lose.
Yes.
And then when they turned to like super rock, like we're rock and roll Foo Fighters, I was like, I'm kind of bored by this.
Right.
I'm coming to the age where like listening to Q107 is more acceptable. So that might be it's like the coming of age story of them and me at the same time.
Yes.
And it's like as I evolve through life, so do they.
Yeah.
And so the soundtrack of my life gets older sounding as I get older, so it all kind of fits. But I'm with them on that. It's just his voice. Just hearing him, I'm like, yes, this is something I have to listen to first, and then I just end up loving it.
I end up, even if you're like, nah, at the beginning, eventually you're like, okay. Okay. I
get
can
it.
roll with it.
I get it. I'm an unapologetic Weezer fan, like super fan.
Ooh,
So as much,
yeah.
a lot of people hate all their new albums, but their last album came out. It's like the 3rd best album of all time. It's so good. And all my friends make fun of me for,
It explains the whole pop rock love, though.
Yeah.
Right? If you
just
say
like
I love the pop
music.
rock,
Yeah.
and you're like, I love Weezer, it's because they kind of got more poppy as they
They're more
went.
poppy. Yeah, exactly.
Right? They
Yeah.
went a little, and I'm not holding it against them because I catch myself humming Weezer tunes,
Oh.
like even the new stuff, all the time.
Totally. And also, they are like amazing live.
Oh, they're the best.
They are
It's
so
the
much
greatest
fun
show.
live.
Oh, I've seen them so many times. They're the greatest band of all time.
Yeah,
You heard
they
it
are
here
very
first.
good.
Second
live.
greatest band of all time.
True. Good point.
Yeah, Foo Fighters, number 1. Weezer, number 2. This is like Diaries of 13-Year-Old Clay, though. Like,
Oh,
straight
yeah,
up.
and
This is
Greg.
everything I listen
Those
to.
are my 1-2 bands.
And if you throw in a little bit of Collective Soul into the mix,
Okay.
that was my first live concert. What was your first live
No,
concert?
I don't want to say it.
Yes,
I want to hear it.
Okay, listen, if it's embarrassing, you give your first live concert because I can then tell you the first CD I bought and I think will
Okay.
be equal on confessions.
I want you to guess who you think it is, and then I'll tell you.
Like, are you going to make fun of me if I guess, like, really weird, though?
No.
Like if
I
I,
have-
say
I have a-
Spice Girls.
Oh, no, that's like the same kind of.
Genre?
Yeah.
S Club 7.
No, I'll give you one more.
Christina Aguilera.
Close.
Ooh,
Britney Spears?
Yes.
There it is.
See, there's nothing
Which
wrong
tour?
with that,
Which
though.
tour?
Oh goodness, I don't even remember what tour it was. Like it was when I was like in grade 4,
Okay.
Wow.
and that was a while ago. And it was at
At least 3 years.
Yeah, 2 years ago. What is now Budweiser Stage. It was there. I was sitting in lawns, and I
wow.
was having the time of my life.
I believe you. Yeah.
Yeah.
The time, like Britney Spears
That would
in
have been
her
like first or second
prime.
album. That would have been like first or second album. She's playing.
It was definitely her first album.
Yeah. Ooh, before the arenas. Not
What a
bad.
show, yeah.
Wow.
And then I saw
Lucky you.
NSYNC shortly after that, and that
Which would've
made
been
my life
amazing.
too.
Yeah.
And like they played the Rogers Center, and they were on harnesses.
Oh, like marionettes?
Yes.
Oh, they
but
did the
like,
no strings
marionette-
attached thing?
yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they like flew around the arena. It was
Oh,
nuts.
I'm so jealous.
I remember hitting this point in high school because for a while I identified as punk. You know, you had to identify as something, and I identified as punk, and I played hacky sack, and I sat in the corner and played my guitar, and I had a mohawk for a while, and I had a tongue ring and an eyebrow ring.
Whoa.
And I
You had a
was
tongue
like,
ring?
I identify with punk, damn it. But then I hit... Actually, I'm going to tell you this story, but then I'm going to have my embarrassing confession afterwards.
Yes.
But then I hit a point where I realized I was probably in grade 11-ish. I'm like, wait, I can like any music that's good.
Yes.
Right? I can.
Yes.
I don't have to be confined by any one genre. And that's when I was like, yeah, Brittany Spears, she's pretty good. I like her. She's pretty good. NSYNC, you know, those guys have some pipes. They can sing. They're pretty good.
Some pipes.
But before, I think my identifying with punk was to kind of wash the shame away from my first album,
Which
my first CD, which was Spice Girls, Spice World.
Yeah?
HMV delivered. Thank
so
you.
proud of you. Okay, now I have to ask.
I can sing all the words, yes,
Okay,
and do most of the dances.
And which Spice Girl did you identify with the most? Or who was your favorite?
Yeah.
I always say I'm turning this into a philosophical thing. I always say, you know, the best stories are the ones that have different characters which everyone can grasp onto for different reasons. Mm-hmm. So I can say I didn't really identify with Scary or Sporty.
Okay.
But let's just say if either Ginger Baby or Posh asked me out, I wouldn't have said no to any of them.
Pick one.
Victoria Beckham.
Okay.
That's mean, but... Yeah, I
was
like
in love with
someone who's
Sporty
going to
Spice.
tell me off.
High five. Sporty was mine.
I love
Really?
Sporty
Yeah,
Spice.
I was
Still
so
do.
into Sporty, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're the only guy that I know that's ever said
Yeah,
that.
I know. I was like, oh, Sporty. Take me.
Everyone's always like, Ginger.
I know.
Geri Halliwell, I feel like she had a lot of baggage. Like, even at a very young age, I just had this sense that if I dated Geri Halliwell, this is coming from the
I
mind of
love this conversation. Like,
perfect. If I dated Geri Halliwell at 12 years old, she would be the crazy one that comes kicking down my door at 3 a.m. because she thought her friend saw me at a party with who they thought was their friend's cousin.
This is what you thought about when you
You
were
ever
12?
think? I was just like, I hope girls look at me. I was like, I don't care. Please bang down my door. Yeah.
And then, baby, I don't know if I could take her seriously. Like, if you pick
With
the
her
name
lollipop?
Baby, and you kind of have your hair in pigtails, you might have some daddy issues. You know what I mean? I don't know if this relationship is really going to work out, but Posh, you know, she had her own thing going.
Yeah.
She had her fingers in different avenues of business.
Yeah.
And she didn't need me there. That's what I think the core of this is I find myself attracted to people that don't need me there at all. And she didn't need me there. And so I'm like, Posh Spice, you're the Spice
one.
Girl for me.
You're the one.
Yeah.
So if you
So
were...
shake it to the left if you're having a good time.
Now I have to ask, did you ever watch Spice World?
No.
That movie is awesome. It's so funny.
Like, how are we not friends?
Oh, I don't know. How's this not happened yet? Yeah, it's great. Like, it's all the best, cheekiest British humor. Like, the best when they're just on a bus, like, oh, I need a fan right now. And they just bring in, like, screaming girls. And she's like, oh, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
Like all those, like, stupid
It's
British
really
jokes.
good.
make
Clay,
me
that's your
howl.
homework.
It's great.
You got to go home and watch Spice World.
It's so good. I have it on
Yeah,
VHS
probably
if you
will.
want. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We just have to find a VCR and
True.
we're set.
All set. Yeah.
Teleport
Good
back
movie.
to like
Great album,
1990.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's my first album.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm really
abashed.
proud of you.
Thank you very much. That I admitted it, or that was actually my first album.
Both. Both. I don't think you should be ashamed to admit that.
I've gotten over the idea of being ashamed to admit anything about music.
Yes.
Because first of all, they sold like a bajillion albums, so I wasn't the only one. I may have been the only male.
Songs are so good.
But that's the thing about music. It's about identity.
Yeah.
Right? Can you identify with something they're saying or something in the music? And if you can identify with that, who's to take that away from you?
It's true. I went through a phase like that too when I was in high school. I kind of like I listened
You were
to
a punk and had a mohawk?
I mean, I didn't have a mohawk, but I wore I used to wear like these cuffs on my hands and very thick eyeliner. And I used to wear like the choker, and I used to have bangs that covered one of my eyes.
Yes.
I was emo is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Taking Back Sunday. I used to be a huge Foo Fighters fan,
yeah.
like Queens of Stone Age, Nine Inch Nails. I'm like that.
I like that you went with TBS, and I was about to go with Trent Reznor. Like, I'm like, oh, Trent Reznor would have loved you. And you're like, Taking Back Sunday.
It's like the generational.
And I'm like, that's right. My little brother listened to them. No, I listened to TBS as well.
Did you like Brand New?
I loved Brand New.
Do you like the new album?
I haven't listened to their new album.
It's pretty good. It's a lot like God and the Devil.
Okay.
It's good.
My homework, brand new.
Brand new.
There's also, I believe, a local band called Boys Night Out.
I know them,
Boys
yes.
Night Out,
And they introduced me to the whole idea of a concept album because they had this album start to finish where every song built to the story.
Okay.
And I probably listened to it hundreds of times, start to finish, because I was, and this may have been the birth of like my whole venture into film and stuff, is I could picture the movie unfolding in my head, and I wanted to shoot like a hour-long music video, which they now call films. And that's the end of the Stringer Podcast. Okay, everyone, thanks. No.
Thank you so much.
And everyone quietly reflects on their childhood and all their heroes who have since left. You get the opportunity to interact a lot with the bands that come through Toronto.
Yes.
You brought up your interaction with Slipknot.
Yes.
What other ones have, for many different reasons, really stood out to you and you know, given you neat stories that you can tell later in life?
There are a few that really, really stick out to me.
Any that you're allowed to tell?
Let me think. Ariana Grande was a good one. So that was last year, 2 years ago, last year. One of those. So when artists roll through Air Canada Centre in our venues, we like to give them a personalized gift from our team. Our team does research and we like to see what they like, and then we'll make a gift based off of that. So for Ariana Grande, she has a bunch of dogs, and it's like 7 or 8 dogs. She's a huge Harry Potter fan and she loves Halloween. And we're like, okay, crap, how are we going to combine all this? Let's make customized, personalized Harry Potter dog costumes.
No way.
And give them to Ariana Grande. So we waited after the show to present it to her. And
Because you were afraid that if she freaked out before the show, she might not go on stage and just go home to play with her dogs.
Totally. She would have been like, done. I don't need to be here.
Want to ruin the
Thanks,
concept.
Toronto!
I'm out. Yeah, it was just my team and I waiting backstage. And I remember we had waited for like maybe like 15, 20 minutes. And we saw her just kind of walk by like the VOM area. We're like, oh my God, she's gone. Like, we're not going to be able to present it to her. Like, she's leaving the building. She's going towards the bus. And then maybe 5 minutes later, all you see is her running back. She's like, oh my God, the dog costume ladies.
And that's how you're now known to Ariana Grande.
Yes,
the dog
I'm
costume
the
lady.
dog costume lady. And she was like, yeah, no, we were leaving. And then I remembered that you guys had a gift for us, so I had to come back. So that was really nice.
So
that she,
sweet.
Yeah, she came back and she was so nice, so sweet, said hi to everyone, shook all of her hands, spent like a good, I would say, 10 minutes with us.
Yeah.
Really?
Which was very, for an artist, that's pretty long. And yeah, it was
Like,
great.
she came back specifically just to say, like, thank you,
just
that was
to say-
amazing.
just
She'd
to
already-
get the gift and
To get the
saw
gift.
it, yeah,
and
yeah.
to say thank
To
you.
cash in.
incredible.
To
That's
cash in.
To cash in, you know, I made myself in Toronto. I did my part. Now let me get my dang
Let me
dog
get my
costume.
gift.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
I earned this.
Now, were they broken up into like rival houses? Did you have like Ravenclaw dogs, and did you have, you know, no Hufflepuffs?
I mean, now that I think back at it, we probably should have done that. That would have been great, but no.
I don't believe in segregated households,
Of
so
course.
I didn't want to divide up the children.
Of course.
No, it makes complete sense.
Yes.
Ariana Grande is such a sweetheart. I've never met her. I like how she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I say
Sweet
that
girl.
definitively.
Yes.
But SNL is also one of my favorite places to spend my Friday or my Friday nights. Saturday Night Live is my favorite place to spend my Friday nights. And her ability to spit out impressions of other singers.
So impressive.
Oh my goodness. I would almost go to a concert just to watch her do back-to-back impressions.
Do that. Her Celine Dion one, I was like,
Oh, her Celine's great, and she does like the chest thing too.
yes.
Yeah.
She's got it down.
Yeah,
She's great.
there's not many people that can pull off a Celine Dion.
Celine.
Oh, I like that.
Celine.
Oh, I
Hello, my
love
name is Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
I want to go to Vegas just to see her perform.
Oh my
I think
gosh,
she'd
I
be
was
unbelievable.
just saying that I really want to book a trip to Vegas to see Celine and to see Britney and
yeah.
to see J-Lo.
J-Lo's doing
J-Lo's-
Vegas now too.
Isn't she?
I thought she was doing a new TV show.
Backstreet Boys are.
Backstreet Boys are.
Holy smokes.
I would go. I would just
That's a
go for a
great
weekend.
trifecta. You just go and like
Return
Thursday,
to the
Friday,
90s?
Saturday. Well, they go 90s and 2000s. You know, you forget about Millennium. That was a big album, and it came out Millennium. You know.
Yes.
But were they already on the decline by the time Millennium came out? I feel like they were.
I mean, was it though?
Millennium had "I Want It That Way" on it, which is their biggest song
it
of all
didn't.
time.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was. They were pretty primed then.
Yeah.
So,
That's like
yeah.
Black and Blue is kind of like that.
That was when it was.
That's when it happened. The Call is like, this isn't working.
Wait, no, the call was really good.
It's an okay song, but
But did you see the
it's
music
not- it doesn't
video
stack
and
up.
Howie
The video is
D?
really weird. It doesn't make any sense. And at that point, Howie and Kevin both have the exact same haircut and like goatee, and they all dress like they're in the Matrix. It's kind of funny.
That's true.
Great, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But I do remember Rick Campanelli when he was leaving Much Music. The last video he played on his farewell shift
What?
was The Call, because the lyrics like I'm going to a place nearby. I gotta go.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
Rick
brilliant.
Campanelli.
Can you explain to me the thought behind gifting super awesome people with super awesome things?
Yeah, like we kind of we look and try to find out things that the artist really likes. So like with The Weeknd, for example, when he was here earlier this year, he is huge on video games, like loves video games. Apparently when he's in his dressing room, he just loves to play video games. So we decided to give him his own personalized arcade console.
Oh, really?
And it featured like over 3,000 games. Like when you turned it on, it would sing his song and it had like his tour art on it. And he like loved that. So it's just like things like that. We want to try to...
But isn't there a belief that they might be able to buy it themselves?
I mean, that's true, yes, but we really want to leave an impression with them and just kind of thank them on behalf of Toronto for like coming through the city, and we just want to thank them for coming to our venue, right? Because every other venue kind of does like a generic gift, like it's like here's cake, here's like some cookies with your face on it. No, we want to stand out too.
I'll totally take cookies with my face on it. It'd be a big cookie. I got a giant head, but that's why I'd be down for it.
Yeah, no, we kind of strive to make a lasting impression, which is great because some of them actually post our gifts on their Instagram.
I would imagine in your time here that you've had repeat guests come through, that then it actually lingers in their mind, that you do something nice for them that's out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
And it must like sit there. Ariana Grande ran back from the tour bus.
Yeah, totally.
To make sure she met you.
Of course, yeah. So we even with like the Weeknd's team, so he's had 3 shows in the building this year. So we didn't meet him like this past weekend when he was here, but his tour.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Oh, boo.
His tour definitely remembered us and was like, "Yo, like we love the console.
Yeah.
We take it everywhere." So it's just nice to hear.
So that's the amazing. That's like the reward,
Yeah.
and it's like fun for you guys to be creative. Like, how can we do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, it's fun putting the gift
gifting
together.
them, and it's just like it's fun to give a gift no matter what. You know, when I give a gift to my brother, it's like when he just lights up. You know. But do you ever feel pressure to outdo yourself? Like, so the next time he comes to town, is like, oh, what are we gonna do this time?
Yes, all
That's
the time.
the hard part.
All the time. Well, I can't remember the artist that we had that we were like, oh, we did such a great gift for him, and I don't remember what it was. It might have been Drake. It might have been Drake. I think it was Drake because I remember he was the very first gift that we actually gave as a part of MLSE Live, and he like loves ping pong, so we got him an OVO ping pong table.
No way.
And then when he came back, we're like, ooh, what are we gonna get him?
Cardboard cutout of himself.
Cookies with his face on it.
Definitely. They say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Yes,
And I bet you Drake is no different.
He's a man.
he's a man.
Yeah, and what a man.
I always think of their tour schedule and the fact that they get into town, perhaps if they're on a bus, especially they get into town maybe 3, 4, 5 a.m. They maybe get to go to a hotel and sleep the rest of their crappy night there. Like, not that it's a crappy hotel, but you kind of get a little bit of sleep on the bus as you're trying to unwind. And then you have to go for sound check, and you get out of sound check, you hopefully get something to eat, you go out, you give your everything in this performance, and then you get back on a tour bus and you do it all over again. Do you hear many of these stories? Do you get to hear like some of the craziness that maybe someone's gone through, or?
I mean, I haven't heard so much of that side of it. I think that would be interesting, though. I don't know how some of them do it, to be honest.
No.
I actually don't know. I can't imagine living a life like that.
You understand when they start to burn out. Then you really see the humanity.
Yes.
Because we have a long week, or you have a lot of nights, or you have a lot of whatever.
Yeah.
And we can feel the wear on our body. And then you find out like I remember when Adele was in Toronto, she had, was it 6 shows in 7 nights or 5 shows in 6 nights?
Yeah, something like that.
And she said that when I got to go see her, she was just coming off her day off, and how much it meant to her just to be able to like breathe for a day.
Yeah.
And I can see why they burn out, because they are pushed to the absolute max that we're supposed to be able to be pushed. And I don't even come into work and give like 180% every day, but they have to be performing all the time.
You got to be on all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
how
not
to
just
do
your
that.
show too, because it's like you're doing media, you're doing everything. Like you're there, you just have like events, you have like meet and greets, you have all that stuff. It's
And on
a
top
lot.
of that, like when you run into new people, you don't want people to shit talk you. You know? When,
No, exactly.
You got to be good. Yeah.
You got to be on. The Conan O'Brien, he put out a documentary from that period of time when he was off television. And I remember there being one point, and he's kind of unraveling a little bit through the documentary, and that's why I was so impressed that they actually put it out, because he appears exposed. And he's going through, obviously, the creative and the mental process of having lost something that you've waited your whole career to do. And he had been lined up, I think, for 6 years to do it, because it was like after Jay's next contract ends, then he gets it. So he knows it's coming 6 years down the road. And then you get it, and as soon as you have it, you lose it. But I remember at one point, he's going through all these meet and greets that happened before, and everyone, they would a chance to meet Conan and blah, 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 backstage. And he pulls his assistant aside after one. He's like, listen, they have to stop. He said, because, I'm smiling and I'm laughing, and I have 2 shows tomorrow, and I'm supposed to save my voice, and then everyone in the band brings family members back, and I have to meet them, and I have to be on.
It's a lot.
You just need some downtime. You just need to be human for like 5 stinking minutes.
Yeah, like you gotta, I have a rule for myself that no matter what, I need at least 20 minutes to myself at the end of every day. You have to do it.
And how do you find that? Like
It helps. It helps. Like I just need to be by myself, whether it's like on my phone, just like chilling, watching an episode of something on YouTube, whatever it is.
Complete quiet
no
time.
one talk. Everyone shut up.
Yeah.
Let me lock myself in this room.
Yeah.
And let me just do my own thing.
That's the one thing about commuting that I miss.
Yes.
Because I found in the commute, whether I was in my car or on a train, then that I could kind of for an hour not owe anyone anything and just give it to myself.
Just do your own thing.
Do my own thing.
Yes. It's important. I only recently learned that.
Sum this up. Sporty Spice is the best, but Posh is probably the one that you want to marry because she's most into long-term possibilities.
She doesn't need you, is what we
She isn't. She doesn't need me,
she's
so I need her. But I need me, and I need time to me. Yes. So buy your 20 minutes out every single day. So I creeped your website.
Oh, God.
And
what a great
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So a creep.
segue.
Yeah.
See, I had to make you laugh so you could be comfortable with the transition. And I use creep really loosely because I feel if it's a website
That's
and
okay.
you posted it, it can't
That's
be
why it's
creeping.
there.
It is reading.
True.
And that's why it's there.
Our past, so we talked about the RTA kind of loose connection.
Mm-hmm.
The Edge. You did, were you like the Edge promo team? What did you do with them? But you have it on your website.
Yes, I was part of the Edge intern army.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be part of the intern.
Yeah,
army.
that was a good one. I really wanted to get like something radio under my belt,
Yep.
just to like have that be like, oh, you know.
Yeah. I like how you flicked your hair when referring to radio, which is a spot where no one can see you.
Exactly.
Like your hair.
Exactly. But yeah, no, it was fun. We used to it was just like a promo team.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never done a promo team before, so that was like a good experience. And I did it, I liked it because it was like all of my friends that were doing it.
Yeah.
So we just kind of like hung out at every show.
And that's what it was. It was mainly you're activated in shows and
Yes.
live events.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You're not going to tell me that you did something for the Edge too.
Oh, definitely.
How many
that's a
times have our
connection.
paths crossed?
So the first time I did a couple things with the Edge.
Okay.
But the first time, well, I don't want to date myself here. It would have been 2000, I'm guessing.
Whoa.
In 2000.
Yo.
Yo.
I was-
Okay.
Greg and I, thankfully I have someone in the room that's my own age. Greg and I, how old were we in 2016?
16.
Right around there.
Is that
So I
right?
was
Yeah.
16 and it was take your kid to work day.
Okay.
My dad was a car salesman.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? If I got to do this report, I don't really want to do it on my dad. And that's terrible to say, but, I'm kind of good without that experience. And so I just started sending emails to anyone whose email I could find at the Edge and just said, hey, I have this school project. I'd like to come in and shadow someone for a day. Could I do that? I got linked up with someone in marketing, like the head of the director or whatever of marketing at the time.
Okay.
And he brought me in. And first of all, I had no idea what marketing really was.
Yes.
Right? All I heard was the Edge. So I figured he was
yes,
in the radio or beside the radio or listening to the radio. Something in that trifecta. And the day they brought me down for the shadow was, funny enough, the morning of, and I'll be able to find out after once I look up dates if I get this right or not, Bare Naked Ladies' first show back in Toronto.
Okay.
Because they had been banned from playing in Toronto from a former mayor for ages and ages and ages because of their name.
No.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking.
There's no way.
I'll get Kylee to look it up as we go. So Bare Naked Ladies had a long time ban from playing in the city of Toronto because of their name. I think it dates back to, I'm going to say 94 or 95, just thinking about how long. So this was the morning of their first show allowed back in Toronto. And it was the Humble and Fred show. So that's how I started my morning. I could go down to the Humble and Fred show and watch Bare Naked Ladies come in and perform a couple songs, which I thought was amazing. Not that I was the biggest fan of theirs.
Do you remember what songs?
No. But if I had $1 million, I might remember.
Boom.
And then I got an advanced copy of Offspring's new album, which...
It was a huge deal for you.
Americana.
Okay.
Right? And this was weeks before it came out. Mm-hmm. Right? And here he had it just in his like little tray inbox, like on top of his desk. He had this album sitting there. He's like, you want an advanced copy of Offspring's new album? I'm like, holy shit, this is real life. This is what you get to do. Yeah. You just get music sent to you and you can listen weeks before anyone gets it. And I spent the day with him, and then they brought me back, and I I say that like so professionally, the music track for their weekend snowboard, or their snow report for the winter.
Really?
Because they were
there one day, and
are you a guitar?
Like,
they brought me back.
We want you.
Yeah.
We choose you.
Yeah.
Those some calluses on your fingers?
And
you can play guitar?
He's like, do you play guitar? Well, I bet you that it's a pretty easy get. You know, if you have a kid wanting to come down to the Edge, he's a male, he's mid-teens. Yeah. Uh-huh. Do you play guitar? The fool's probably going to say yes, even if he couldn't. And so they let me pick one up there, and they brought me back, and I had to bring my own guitar, and I played the guitar track, then I played the bass track, and they brought in the drum track because I guess they didn't believe in my drum skills. We needed Emily.
Thank you
there
so
for the drum track.
Except I don't know how old I was then. How old was I? Yeah, probably 10.
2000? You were 10?
I was 9.
Ugh.
But that's really dope, though.
And that was my first experience with 102.1 The Edge, which is unbelievable because I wanted this job in radio. I thought that's definitely where I'm going to go, and that's totally not where I went at all. But it was nothing because of anything they did. It was just such a wicked
you got
experience.
your music played on The Edge.
I got my music played on The Edge.
And you will always have that.
You always have that. Those royalty checks still coming in. So can, baby. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I thought I was, working the magic. I was 16 years old. I thought I could figure this all out, start working the industry at this young age. I agreed on $100 and a letter saying that I was the one who did it. And now being in the position I'm in now, I'd be like, $100? Sure, no problem. It'll be in the mail. And a CD. I wanted a CD of the music so I could keep it forever with a letter that said that I did write and perform this.
That's incredible.
And you have the letter still?
Oh, yeah, I have the letter still.
The CD?
Okay, I think that's still badass.
I think I'm going to frame it.
I think you should.
Put it on the podcast Instagram. You got to put it up there.
Oh, I got to track it.
I'm sorry, you have a podcast Instagram?
I have a podcast Instagram.
Do I need to look this up right now? Do I need to follow it right now?
Yes, when this goes live, I am most definitely following you, Emily Agard.
What is it?
At Stringer Podcast. It's pretty straightforward. There's 4 things. There's Akil Augustine with a mustache.
I got it.
Akil with a mustache?
Akil with a mustache.
Dang.
Oh my God, here he is.
It's new.
This is good. Okay.
Everyone thinks that a podcast, we're not recording this right now. I hate to shatter your dreams, but this was recorded. We had just released our first episode of the podcast last week.
Okay.
This week, we're releasing number 2, but we were recording number 4.
Oh, snap.
So I think it's the week of the 26th,
yes.
September 26th, that we're going to, that this will be out, which means the Foo Fighters album has already been released, and we all love it. We can agree in unison.
It's amazing.
That it was
it's
the best
thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's album of the year for sure. It's already top of the charts when it comes to award time.
Well, this is the thing about this album. Obviously everyone loves it. It's a huge hit. but it's too fresh right now. So, what are your top 3 Foo Fighter albums, each of you, right now? Not including the new album because it's too fresh. It's not fair.
In any order?
In like your favorite to your third favorite.
Okay. Their self-titled album. So their very first one with like
the guy on the front,
For All the Cows.
Big Me and stuff.
That's gonna be my number 1.
Oh, his first album is your favorite album.
That's my favorite album. And then second one would probably be.
I hope you go in order, and the second one's Color in the Shape, and
No,
the
it's
third
not.
one's
No.
frickin' One by One or whatever it was.
No. I think Color in the Shape is number 3, and the second one is Wasting Light.
Wasting Light.
That is, you know what? I might say that is my favorite Foo Fighters album of all time.
Wasting Light?
I think I listened to that album every day for like 3 months. Every day.
I reached out to you over Twitter like a couple weeks ago because I started listening to One by One. Was that the name of the? Yeah, One by One.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, every song on this is a hit.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about it. But my top 3, okay, actually I want to say this first. So the first self-titled album, one of my favorite stories from Dave Grohl ever.
Yes.
He wrote all the music, recorded all the music himself.
Yeah.
It was well received, but he didn't have lyrics for it.
Yeah.
And so in just a couple nights, he wrote all the lyrics to every song because to him, they were almost unimportant. And so that's why you get a song called For All the Cows or whatever, because he just kind of rushed through and put lyrics to everything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Which I guess in a sense, you have to really feel the music in order to feel where he was at the time because it's not so much about the words. But I think at the same time, when you're given a very little amount of time to push like thoughts and ideas and feelings out, it's probably the rawest form of you.
It's probably the best.
And the best,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the most true because you don't get to sit there and be like, well, I don't know if I should say that. I should take it back.
Now you got to run with it.
Oh, Run. Thank you very much. Called one of the latest singles. Color in the Shape, I think I'm going to give number 1.
Ooh, okay. Yep.
Foo Fighters. That was...
Everlong is on there, so.
Everlong's on. I saw him tour that album at what is now Budweiser Stage. I don't want to mess you up. This is your job. So it's now Budweiser Stage. It was called something else at the time, and he drammed. He drammed and sang that whole album. He was drumming and singing because that was when they were between. Taylor hadn't come on board yet, and they were still between drummers. And so he played and sung the whole thing, which
what
is
a badass.
unfriggin' real. And I think Much Music recorded it. I believe they did like a live event. And so I believe you can still find recordings of them coming to town.
Add it to my homework list.
I love it. He loves Toronto. He's a huge fan of Toronto, and that's why they always I think they always make sure they get it on their list. So number 1, Color in the Shape. Number 2, I'm going to say Nothing Left to Lose.
Yeah,
There is Nothing Left to Lose.
Yep.
Stacked Actors was...
I forgot about that song.
Okay, so...
Oh my gosh.
Stacked Actors, Breakout, Learn to Fly, Give Me Stitches, Generator, Aurora, Livin' Skin, Next Year, Headwires, Ain't It the Life, MIA. This album, like top to bottom, top to finish, start to bottom, is I think perhaps their strongest. In my opinion.
Breakout and Stacked Actors?
Yeah. Stacked Actors.
Big album. That's a big album.
So good.
I didn't like the song at first. I remember it came out and I didn't like it, and it wasn't until I saw him perform it live, and they have this massive like 3-minute breakdown in the
Oh
middle
my
of
god,
it.
right in the middle.
And
When they just have it's so good.
And they just go nuts.
It's so
and,
good.
And then like Taylor plays off Dave, and Dave plays off Nate, and
Yes.
Nate plays off Chris Shiflett. And I love the whole thing. I'm nerding out huge. Greg's just sitting back and laughing.
I opened a can of worms.
Yeah, Stacked Actors, and now it's one of my favorite songs. Again, interesting story behind that. Dave tells us on, I think, their first documentary that they did.
Yes.
And they're on tour, and I believe they're in Europe, and he noticed everyone had a song that made the fans just do this. And I'm kind of lifting and lowering my hand to a certain beat. And if you know Stacked Actors, and you just move your hand to the beat, that's the beat it is. And he wanted to come out to a song that had everyone jumping.
Yeah.
Everyone jumping. And so he found the rhythm with his hand, and they sat in the back and kind of worked it out. And then they premiered it that night or debuted it that night at the show at whatever friggin' European city they're in. And the curtain dropped and everyone was bouncing bouncing. That's the word. Just the way he wanted them to.
I believe it.
And he
with
knew
that,
he had to hit. And I love that story.
Guy knows what he's doing.
Guy knows what he's doing.
Third album.
That's a good album.
This one's so hard. Okay, third is Saint Cecilia EP. I'm gonna
really.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It was so out of left field when it came out, and I love every single track on it. Hard.
How many tracks is it? Like 6?
5, 6.
Yeah.
I lost it.
That is so interesting to me.
Yeah, but then followed very shortly, like. This is. I was asked what my top comedians were by Akil, and I listed like 6, and he only asked for 3. Yeah. And so it's like you asked me for 3 like Foo Fighters album, you're gonna get.
I'm just gonna rank them.
I'm just gonna keep going.
It's my podcast. You can't tell me what to do. Echo, Silence, Patience, and Grace.
Oh shit! I forgot about that one too.
It's got The Pretender on it.
They got a lot of hits.
Which
big albums.
I was lucky enough to cut a piece for the Toronto sports world. I had to fight to use The Pretender because they were like, I don't know if this is a Foo Fighters rock and roll kind of crowd.
Yeah.
And all I did was mash together a couple videos I'd already cut with the song underneath, and I'm like, it can be anything we want it to be.
Yeah.
And that's like my pride. And actually my brother, it's the proudest thing that I've ever done in his eyes is because we're all Foo Fighters fans together.
Nice.
Damn. Yeah. Have you ever met Dave Grohl?
Yes, my brother surprised me. Remember the show MOD on Much Music?
Yeah.
So my brother surprised me with like tickets in the audience when Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins were on it. And it was on like a commercial break. Cut to 16-year-old Emily in the audience. Panting and like sweat. Oh my God. Taylor Hawkins and Dave Grohl are literally steps away.
Here.
Yeah. Shaking. Commercial break. They're walking around, signing autographs, doing whatever. My brother, Taylor Hawkins, is walking past us and he goes, Taylor, man, like she is your biggest fan. Like she started drumming because of you. Like she loves you. Taylor turns around and was like, come here. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh shit, like I read an article that said that you don't hug people, so like, what do I do? And he went in.
Stuck your hand out. We're very firm.
You just go to make out. Must have some make out.
No, but he hugged me and we took a great photo. Took a photo of Dave Grohl. And that was probably a huge highlight of life.
That's incredible.
Of life.
Have you met them through your job now?
No, that is what I...
We always talk about this because I have asked to shadow Emily on the day.
Listen, if the Foo Fighters ever come to Air Canada Centre, you need to capture content.
100%.
And we need to team up.
100%.
And we need to break into their dressing room so I can get a lock of Taylor Hawkins' hair.
Deal. I'll go to jail for you.
Thank
I'll
you.
go to jail for Foo Fighters.
Thank you.
Hands down.
So
No
would
question. I had to think for a half second, but it was more logistically, how am I going to get all the equipment, the spy equipment that I have in through security? But then I figured it out. Yeah, totally. I'll go to jail for you.
Exactly. I would be smiling in my mugshot.
And holding the lock of hair.
Yeah.
How do you plead guilty?
Yeah.
I did it.
And I'm proud.
I'm proud. I have Taylor's hair.
Yeah.
That's not fucked up at all. They haven't announced a Toronto date yet, have they?
No, they haven't.
Oh, they will. They'll be coming to ACC for sure.
Yeah. I think they've done like the smaller venue kind of tour. So now it's an arena tour now. They're going to come back to Air Canada Centre. So they need to.
I don't think we've talked about this. My brother and I, in like a fit of neither passion nor rage. I can't talk about my brother and I in a fit of passion. That's kind of weird. Well, different strokes for different folks. Let's start this over because I might edit that last part out. My brother and I, in about 20 minutes, found out that they were playing Cal Jam, or they were kind of organizing Cal Jam.
Yeah, it's theirs.
Their festival in San Bernardino. And then my brother figured out that tickets are only $99. And then I found flights for under $400 return, which is, first of all, Canadian, very cheap to anyone listening in the States, and cross-border. And so for very little money, my brother and I are going over Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, and Foo Fighters are playing, Queens of the Stone Age are playing.
Oh my gosh, that is like a dream. Queens of the Stone Age and Foo Fighters?
Yeah, which there's going to be some crossover.
Oh my god.
No.
Do you think they're going to do anything with them Crooked Vultures? Can you imagine? Maybe not.
They could.
Maybe we'll see. We can
Who's the bass player? Is it Led Zeppelin guy?
Zeppelin guy.
Yeah.
I forget his name. What's his name?
I don't know either.
Or is
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, yes. So who do we have? Foo Fighters, Queens of the Stone Age, Cage the Elephant. Thank you. This is all because of Kylee. Liam Gallagher, The Kills, Royal Blood. and a bunch of people that I don't know after that.
I mean, I would go for just Queens and
And
Foo
Foos.
Fighters.
That's
Yeah.
for $100.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous.
It's in the world that we live in of like exorbitant stadium tours and ticket prices and fees that they charge you just to buy your dang ticket. $100 is nothing.
Yeah.
5 bands that you would play your festival. Go. Yeah, I don't know. Your own festival.
I got pointed.
Go.
I got the fingers first. 5 bands. Foo Fighters are definitely number 1. Live or like
Live.
They have to be alive though. They have to be still alive.
Oh, they have to be alive. Yes.
Okay.
They meant live. What do you mean?
No, live. Yeah.
Lip
no,
syncing?
Live is what? No, he's saying live is one of his bands. Lightning Crashes.
Yeah. I haven't thought about live in so long. Thank you for that. But no, not them. Okay. Sorry, guys, you're not invited. 5 bands. Weezer, like Foo Fighters number 1. Weezer's number 2. Like I can go any genre of music. I can go anywhere.
This is your festival.
Muse, actually. Okay. Muse is unreal live. I'm gonna go Sam Smith just because it doesn't fit the rest of the bill, but I've never seen him live and I've always really wanted to.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add Sam Smith. Oh, I'm under pressure here. I'm gonna go with the Canadian. I'm gonna go with City and Color.
Dang.
Wow.
Dallas Green. I had the opportunity to see him with like 120 people in a small little bar in Guelph before he released his first album. And his live, and I've seen him since then, but his pre-recorded performance cannot touch his live stuff.
Right.
He is so much better in person, and I'm under the gun. So yeah, so you have Foo Fighters, Weezer. I don't.
Sam Smith.
Sam
No.
Smith.
So yeah, Sam
Dallas
Smith,
Green.
Dallas Green,
And Muse.
That's not.
Thank you for remembering.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's my.
It's an all-star lineup.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
did
Sam
you
Smith. I forgot Smashing Pumpkins. Fuck it. Sorry, Sam Smith. You got bumped. You're on the B list. If anyone backs out, you're Taxi Squad because Billy Corgan and Smashing Pumpkins get to come in first. They're definitely playing. Yes, 100%.
Big lineup.
Your turn. What about you? Big G?
Well, I had
Big
the fortune
G.
of thinking while you were talking, but so Weezer
Well,
for sure.
stalling. I stalled.
Yeah.
I didn't talk.
Weezer for sure. The Stills, they're broken up, but I'd bring them. I'd pay to get them back
Really?
together. I really love By Divine Right. Like good Toronto band. And yeah, it gets tough after that. I don't know, like Arcade Fire, I really enjoy. I'm trying to think of more bands that I haven't really seen. Like I've still never seen the Killers live, so I just do it just so I could see them live.
Yeah.
They're great. When
Yeah.
there was Virgin Festival that used to be on the island, they headlined the one year, and Killers were unbelievable live.
They're very good live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
So much
that's
energy.
Like, they have that new album coming out. I'm seeing them on this tour. This is happening.
Are
Because they're playing the ACC
they're
in like
coming
December.
in January.
January. It's one of the J months.
Yeah.
There's only 3, so it's a quarter of the year.
So I'm planning to go to that. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. So definitely the 3. I don't know. It gets tough. I really love like Haim. I love, but it's like the 2 albums are great. I don't know. It's hard. It's like I'm trying to rank. I'm trying to think of like my favorite bands, but
Yep.
I'd really love to see Haim. I'd really love to see Spoon. Like I don't know. A lot of good bands.
Okay.
I
It'd be too
hope
tough.
you kind of have this look about you right now, like you got the shit figured out. You know exactly what you're going to say. But I hope it's as hard for you as it was for us. Yeah. So
It is. There are a lot of artists that I would want in my own festival.
Right. You're the one who picked 5, though.
I know. I should have
does
said
that?
10.
Right?
Yeah.
How
it's
dare
tough.
I limit us? Okay. Well, the Foo Fighters are obviously number 1.
Thank you.
I'm obviously going to go with New Kids on the Block as number 2.
Oh, yes. We haven't even touched on this yet.
God, don't. Please don't. Foo Fighters, New Kids on the Block, Big Sean. It's a great festival, guys.
It has an attendance of like 17 people.
Arkells. And and one more. I need to get a female artist in there.
She's biting her nails. Oh, I'm glad you thought of that. Dang it. I should have thought.
This is so hard. I'm stressed.
You can cut out silences. Were you ever Emily Haynes fan at all?
Yeah, Metric.
Yeah, Metric?
Yeah. Death from Above, 1979. I
Yes.
know they're Toronto, and I've seen them so many times, but like, oh my God, wait, no,
I've
hold
never
on,
seen
wait.
them live.
Hold
Okay.
on, take it back. Okay, Billy Talent. Billy Talent.
Like old Billy Talent?
I don't care what Billy Talent. I love Billy Talent. All Billy Talent.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I am a huge Billy Talent fan.
I love how Canadiana we went with this.
Yes.
Except if you wanted a female artist, we could have said Avril Lavigne.
I'm gonna choose.
You gonna pass? Interesting
gonna
story about
pass,
Avril
yeah.
Lavigne. First of all, incredibly nice. Even like in the early days when things were moving perhaps too quickly for her.
Yes.
She played a mall not far from here. I knew about it. My brothers didn't. I lived in the city already, so I drove up, woke my brothers up at 6 a.m. because they still lived at home. They were massive Avril Lavigne fans.
Skater boys?
They're big-time skater boys. Drove them down to this mall, stood in line, got wristbands, then went into like the HMV, got them the record because we were able to do a meet and greet after, and they have photos with her and signatures, and she was awesome.
Okay, that's cool.
She really, really was.
That's dope.
You know, as I said, it was probably at that time where she was being overworked and underpaid.
Right.
And as I said, things were probably moving, like my perception on it now is being older and adult, things were probably moving a little too fast for her. Mm-hmm. But she was awesome to be around, and one of those things that my brothers don't forget. And so when they get a memory out of it, that's really what this is all about, isn't it? Just giving them a memory.
Yes, that's good to know. And now I'd like to change my top 5 because I just remembered that Derek Whibley was with Avril Lavigne, and now I just remembered my love for Sum 41.
Sum 41 was great.
Yeah, they've got to be somewhere in there. Oh, I loved Sum 41.
This is now like a top 7.
I'm so sorry.
Top 8. We're just expanding our roster. Actually, what's happening is Greg goes day 1, Clayton gets day 2, and M gets day 3 of a 3-day festival.
Exactly.
So we can start trading a couple, and then we're going to open up a side stage for the weekend. On the weekend, not for the weekend. It's a different type of music.
The XO stage.
So we can really start exploring, you know, maybe some of the forgotten artists that we'd like to bring back in. Serial Joe. Every time I grew up with them, they're Newmarket. They're at a Newmarket.
Okay.
As are 2 members of Tokyo Police Club.
Yep.
But Serial Joe is really like in that scene, and they were kind of breaking through when I was coming through high school. Mm-hmm. And I would bring that if we had a side stage. I'd definitely get them back together because me being 15 or 16,
10 people they bring out.
And I would be one of them. Let's not forget some of the people that were on each of our lists.
To sell tickets,
folks. That's why it's a B stage.
Wait,
we have the Foo Fighters playing 2 days.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
And Smashing Pumpkins.
We are delivering.
Weezer playing twice.
It's true.
We're fine.
They're
this
just like
festival,
in the small print. Serial Joe like that.
Yeah.
What are we going to call our festival? The Graham Clay?
Yeah.
The Graham Clay.
So do you still have... I meant to ask this before, but I forgot. Now I remembered. Do you still have that photo of you and Taylor?
I do.
And are we allowed to post it on our Instagram when this goes live?
You can. I have 2 photos with him.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and it's actually quite funny because the floor director...
It's not funny, it's amazing.
You're
Let's
not
be honest.
allowed to take photos technically in the studio, and the floor director specifically like, don't take out your cameras or your phones or whatever. And obviously I was like, fuck this. Like, I really want to... like, I'm meeting Taylor Hawkins.
Don't get in my way.
Yeah, I'm meeting Taylor Hawkins. Like, Taylor Hawkins is hugging me right now.
Yeah.
We're going to take a photo. And so my brother's taking the photo.
Clearly he's into it.
Right behind is the floor director doing this.
Yes,
like, give me the
That's
phone.
enough.
Yeah, give me the phone. So
Tough shit.
Yeah.
Didn't get the phone.
Yeah, didn't get the phone.
You drove in from Brampton.
Listen.
Do they even know the kind of people that come out of Brampton?
It was a road trip.
Right. You don't mess.
We're street, you know?
Street.
Actually, nuts in the back pocket. Fucking lay 5 across the face.
I got to go to an intimate interactive with Foo Fighters when they were promoting One by One. And it was pretty awesome.
That's
the whole hour and a half
awesome.
they played, we're standing right in front of them. But my friend Ted was like the biggest Taylor Hawkins fan.
Yes.
After they're like,
there's a lot of
autographs,
biggest Taylor Hawkins
everyone.
fans.
So
I don't understand how there's not more.
And Taylor was like, they just played the whole set. It was great. And afterwards they're signing autographs. They're doing everything for all the 80 kids that they let in the building. So then we have but it's like, this is 2001 or something. So we have a disposable camera. So Ted's like, take my photo with Taylor. And then he kind of gets Taylor's attention. Taylor turns around and goes. But I'm so nervous because I'm like, oh, we gotta take a photo. And and I take the photo really fast.
And it's shaky.
But we don't know because Polaroid, it's a disposable camera. So then like a week later, we get the photos developed. And the photo is like, you see like this part of my friend Ted's chin. And then just like, because Taylor Hawkins wearing no shirt. So it's just like his pecs and like the top 2 abs that he has. And it's just like the most hilarious photo of all time. And it's just like completely off frame. And Ted was so mad at me. And he was just like,
you posted with
you ruined my moment.
You posted with a sticky that says, "This is Taylor Hawkins, I swear."
Yeah. Look at those abs. Check out that bod. You know that's Taylor Hawkins.
I mean, I would take that photo.
No, it's a great photo. I'll try and get that photo. You can post them side by side with.
Yes.
I would love to get that photo.
That's hilarious.
When Foo Fighters went on a bit of a hiatus a few years ago, Taylor Hawkins broke out. And
Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Riders.
And the Coattail Riders, and they played Mod Club.
Yes.
And my brother and I, Eric, who's, again, he's the one I travel with to the Foo Fighters show. We went to Louisiana together. We've seen him in Toronto a bunch of times. Mm-hmm. And we're going to California together. He where am I going with this? Oh yeah, we saw him together at Mod Club, and it was so neat because first of all, he played and sang the whole show on drums.
Yes.
He drammed. And then the encore, they came out and they did Hotel California.
Oh, that is like a signature Hawkins move.
Is it really?
It is.
Okay.
Like he does play Hotel California.
He did.
Everywhere.
In front of me.
Classic Hawk.
Classic Hawk. Again, it was one of these neat things where you realize that your music tastes are evolving and growing, where you're like, okay, I love this band, but then I can really appreciate the members of this band when they go off and do their other thing.
Yeah.
And then we went and supported him live, and he was great. But then Foo Fighters got back together, which I think everyone wanted anyway.
Yeah.
It made us all
more.
completely happy.
Yes.
So looking into October, what's your schedule like? Is there anything you can promote that you want to pump that you're going to be doing? Where can we find you?
Where can you find me?
At a cubicle behind a laptop.
That is true.
Smiling all the time.
Yes. No, I on MLSE Live. We're doing a bunch of new stuff with like artists rolling through the venues. We're doing some stuff with Warner Music, so you'll see like interviews with more Warner artists on there.
Ooh, that's exciting. Is that through MLSE Live?
That's through MLSE Live, yeah. Doing some stuff with the Leafs. We're going to be filming a new show for the Toronto Maple Leafs soon. So that'll be fun. You can look forward to that.
Ooh, that's you through Leafs TV.
Yes.
Yes, Leafs TV.
And then I'm also filming a new kids television show, which is quite fun, interesting.
You have history with YTV.
Yeah.
And so I know and CBC Kids.
And TV Kids, yeah.
And TV,
Yeah.
So is this through that channel?
It'll be on TVO Kids.
It'll be on TV.
Yeah, next year.
And what's the premise? How much can you give us?
The premise is basically it's a show about teaching kids about different cultural parties. So like you gonna see me at bar mitzvahs. You gonna see me at like Ukrainian festivals.
Are you? And you're gonna be there?
I will be there.
And you're gonna dress up.
I mean, we'll see.
You're a pretty snazzy person. I expect that you will dress accordingly.
We'll see.
That's exciting. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
And have you started filming that already?
Yeah, we have.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So TVO Kids.
Yeah.
That's where that's going to be. MLSE Live.
Yeah.
At the Air Canada Centre.
Yep.
At every concert.
Yep.
On the Twitter sphere.
Yep.
The Gram.
Yes.
Do you Snapchat?
Barely. Yeah.
Instagram story ruined Snapchat.
You said that last time.
True, yeah. Once
I don't
Instagram
agree.
story came out, I was like, bye, Snapchat.
Yeah.
See ya.
See, I hold to the idea that I have different groups of people. One group's on Snapchat, one group's on Instagram, and there's people in the Instagram world that I don't know if I really want them seeing the kind of stuff that I snap.
I guess that's true. That is true.
Even the simple stuff, like sometimes I just lay in the bed and I snap the ceiling because I don't know, the angles
because
of my
that's
room.
what you do.
That's what I do. It looks artsy to me, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want anyone who's on my Instagram to see that because they're like, why are you laying in bed? It's got to be at least 11 a.m.
Yes. Oh, okay, I get you.
Right?
I see what you mean.
Right? If it's like 6:30.
You're trying to protect yourself,
yeah,
okay? I get it.
I'd be proud if it was 6:30 a.m. and I was getting out of bed, but I'm not a morning person.
I'm not a morning
I'm
person
a
either.
night owl.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to get you to a TFC game soon? What do we have to do?
Yes. I want to come to a
Drag
TFC
your
game.
awesomeness
I
out.
love TFC
Right?
so much. I love being at
been-
BMO Field.
It's been it's not a TFC podcast.
But
kind of feels like a TFC podcast
Please
sometimes.
bring me to a game.
But just come on out.
Yes.
We'll get you there. We'll get you
Yes.
sideline. We'll have some fun. We had some fun this time last year. Was
it?
Yeah, I think it was this time last year you were there.
Yes.
And it's always neat when I see friends of mine in completely different settings
Yes.
where I don't expect to see them
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh my goodness, now you're inside my thing. This is great. I can show you around. This is the field. This is the ball. This is the net. And I get really excited. So having you there was amazing.
Yes, yeah. Well, I want to do that again.
Kylie, anything you'd like to add?
Actually,
Do you have a
It's like, actually.
do you have a festival lineup?
yeah, I do.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey.
okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Metallica,
Okay.
Oh.
Alice in Chains,
This is okay. We're like early
Okay.
'90s.
Foo
Four
Fighters,
Horsemen.
obviously.
Thank you.
4-day
Coldplay,
festival.
and Mumford and Sons.
That's a pretty good festival lineup.
That's a solid. Actually, it's probably the most put together than any of
I had a
us.
lot of time to think about it.
I like that.
But I'm going to take it one step further. If you've been to any festival, you have like your 12:30, 1 o'clock person,
Yeah.
but then you have like your 9 o'clock headliner star. Who's walking on the stage for you at 9 o'clock and going to close out the night with a massive 2-hour set?
Oh,
Because they're all such strong artists. Let's be honest. Serial Joe is going to be on the 12:30 B stage for me.
It's either between Metallica or Foo Fighters for me.
Foo Fighters, I think.
The Foo Fighters.
It's now a 4-day festival.
Yeah.
We have to pay Dave Grohl and company to play 3 of those nights.
Yeah, but
Headline all 3 nights, you know?
They can do it.
They can do it.
I'm so proud of us.
They could do your 3 albums each night, you know?
Oh my goodness.
That's it. One night, Color Shape from the back, then Wasting Light.
Can they please? Can we start a thing? Can this be a petition that we put out? I don't know what we have to do to put a festival together. Anything could be better than that piece of shit Fire Festival that went on the Caribbean. I think we can make this happen.
I can't.
If they can touch it, I can go there. Let's do it. Emily, this was perhaps the most fun I've ever had talking music.
This was fun.
Thank you so
what
much.
This felt like, kind of really quickly. This felt like you remember the show Radio Free Roscoe?
Yes. I think I take that as a compliment.
It is, because I was obsessed with that show.
Okay, good. Then I definitely take that as a compliment. Emily Agard, everyone, she is just the best.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Don't forget, please eat your vegetables.
That was so much fun.
That
was actually so much fun.
Come in.
Oh my God, were you waiting this entire You were waiting this entire
You
time?
could have come in.
I didn't want to interrupt.
It was right there.
Good call.
He's probably just
Terrible.
eyeing
Good man.
from outside.
Yeah, I saw him earlier. Like we saw him. It was like an
Yeah,
hour
I was
ago.
like, hi. Oh shit, I feel bad.